What's going on, everybody? This is Gregory Laporte from GamerFitnation.com, and I'm here with my man from the Behemoth. And, you know, this is PAX, and this is, you know, their highlight show because they are on the lanyards right here. So I'm going to let my man over here just take over and just tell us what the Behemoth has in store for us in the future.
Oh man, there's so many things. There's so many things I want to tell you, but it's still early days. So, I mean, Battle Block Theater was our game last year, came out, spent years working on that. Excited, finally everybody comes to the booth, they actually know how to play. You know, they're killing me now, which is good. And we're getting it out on Steam. I don't know if you're, like, my friends are PC snobs. So they don't play the game, but now, you know, in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later, but we're pretty sure this year we'll have it out on PC. So that's cool. And then, you know, there's the mysterious Game 4, and there's little Easter eggs around our booth. So we got new things, new and confusing things. You know, Dan, his art is all over the place, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's all over the place in quality, but there is a cupcake riding a spider that's half woman. It's on a T-shirt. You got to see it. Yeah.
You guys are so, it's just crazy the way you guys think about all these ideas. So, you know, as far as you know, you're bringing your new game to the Xbox One. What was the decision? Was it time to come to a next generation console, or you guys just felt that, you know, what the hell? Let's release a new game, put it on the Xbox One.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of in between generations a little bit, but you know, our relationship with Microsoft has worked out great in the past, and it's obviously not like necessarily like an exclusive thing. Although, you know, currently we are developing Game 4 on Xbox One for now, but you know, we're branching out. We have Castle Crashers and PS3, and then we've got, you know, our game's been releasing on Steam. So we sort of feel out and see where things lie. And we already have those connections with Microsoft, so that's why, you know, we're going that route right now. So anything's possible, though. The more people that have the opportunity to play our games, you know, the happier we are. So, you know, it's less people I have to disappoint when they play our game, you know, the arcade machines here, and they're like, okay, so it's not going to be at 7-Eleven. You know, is it going to be on, you know, whatever, you know, my Jaguar, you know, whatever it is. If it's, you know, PS4 has been a pretty big seller, so if we're able to say yes to that, that'd be great someday.
Okay, cool. Now, as far as, you know, Xbox and Microsoft, how supportive have they been with the Behemoth and, you know, kind of pushing their games, pushing your games on their platform?
Well, it's been great. It's been mutually beneficial, right? So, I mean, they were actually down, you know, visiting and started taking a look at what we're working on now. So there's a lot of back and forth, and like I said, we've got that network already sort of established and that relationship. So we've already are familiar with. You know, they trust that we are going to come up with something that is going to catch people's attention, I think. So they kind of let us do our thing, and obviously we publish for ourselves, so we kind of dictate our own, you know, when it's done, it's done. And it's funny, like everybody goes, oh, you know, when is it going to come out? When is it going to come out? You've been talking about this for years, and then like 2 months after it comes out, you almost hear nothing. And you still have people coming up saying, oh, I didn't even, what is this game? You know what I mean? So it's good that we have that freedom. And they're fully supportive of us doing things at our own pace. So that's good.
So as far as the booth here at PAX, what do you have? Battle Block Theater you're showing off. What about the Easter eggs you mentioned earlier? What kind of Easter eggs are there?
Well, it's great because thankfully somebody snuck in on the T-shirt. It says Game 4. There's like a little question mark on it. So that way we can claim if those things don't end up in the game, whatever. But yeah, there's a little bit of the merch here and there. So there's some new characters to take a look at. But we can't talk about like genre. But you know, anybody who's familiar with our games knows what we like, and that's what's great is that we get to make the kind of games that we like to make. So if you like what we've made in the past, there's a good chance you're gonna like what we're coming up with next.
So is it safe to say this new game that you guys have coming out, is it gonna be? It's going to be similar to the ones you have now, or is it going to be kind of, you know, a whole different opposite of the spectrum?
That's tricky because I say, you know, it's similar in the sense that it's what we enjoy, but we have a broad spectrum of taste. Like every game we make has been different from the genre-wise than the one that came before, you know. And yet you also have people saying, oh, you know, make something like what you've made in the past. Like I'm a big fan of this game. Why don't you make more like that? So I can't, like I said, I can't talk too much about genre, but we do like to branch out from genre to genre. So you just kind of have to wait and see, you know. Well, whatever it is, it'll bring like, you know, the sense of humor, you know, Dan's art. You know, I don't know how much, like, you know, Stamper did the narration on Battle Block Theater. I don't know how much he's really involved at this point. but you'll get the signature humor. There'll probably be some violence, you know, because that's a little bit, you know, there might be a poop joke. That's just sort of our thing, and we got to continue to represent, you know, the Behemoth style. So you'll get those regardless of what genre it ends up being.
So as far as, you know, your previous titles, are there any chances we might see, you know, have you ever thought about doing sequels to an Alien Hominid or Battle Block Theater or even Castle Crashers, like a part 2?
You know, it's funny, somebody asked me earlier, said, you know, have you thought about it? I was like, well, yeah, of course, you know, we talk about it. But there's a couple of things about that, and one, you know, Dan has to work on these games for years, so it's asking him to go back and do this, you know, kind of almost like a retread. Can you do these characters again for another however many years it's going to take? And, you know, one of the great things about being able to choose our own projects is we always get to do something new and exciting, you know? So while we're not saying no, we're never going to go back to any of these, any of these IPs, at the same time, we always, like every time a game comes out, we're like, oh man, what can we do now? Like, in the meantime, what have we been thinking about that's different, something we loved playing growing up that we can like bring our own spin to, you know? So I'm not going to say no, but I'm also going to say, you know, it's anything's possible. So it's definitely, the fans have given us a lot of support. So, you know, I don't want to disappoint people who are big Castle Crashers or Battle Block Theater or Alien Hominid fans. So, you know, just have to kind of keep on paying attention to our dev blog and seeing what's up.
Okay, cool. I guess my last question is, you know, as far as, you know, the Behemoth and you guys I know you guys self-publish. Have you guys ever thought about, you know, releasing any of your titles on handhelds? Has that ever come up in discussion or anything has it even been talked about?
Yeah, we've explored that space a bit. I mean, we have a few titles on iOS, you know, with small mini games, things from Alien Hominid. There's PDA games, and Soviet Missile Mastar is on there. Both are free downloads because we just wanted to see what sort of response we'd get. I think a big part of it though is we really like our games to feel really tight in the control. You know, we really like to have a good feel, and we're just not sure the kind of games we've been making are necessarily a good fit with that, you know, a touch interface. You don't get that tactile response necessarily, so it might be possible, you know, if we branch out into a genre that actually be a good fit for a touch interface. You know, and it's always possible, like, who knows what kind of relationships we might develop with Sony, you know, who knows, right? As long as we feel like it's a good fit and it's going to get, you know, the game out there to more people, then we love to do it. But again, small team, so we gotta do one thing at a time.
All right, cool. I was just thinking, the minute you said that, I was just like, oh, you guys could do like a mobile phone game, like Castle Crashers Candy Crush.
Oh God, you know, I've seen there's a couple games out there that are they're not Castle Crashers, but they're like, you know, Fort Smashers. There's some couple of similar titles out there. Not quite, you know, not quite at the same caliber maybe, but it's clearly, you know, there's some desire for that kind of game on that platform. We just haven't quite found a good match as far as the controls go, I think.
All right, cool. So, you know what, man? Thanks so much for the interview. I love what the Behemoth is doing. You guys always bring it to PAX, always throwing it down over here. I'm Gregory Laporte for GamerFitNation.com. Be sure to check out more at GamerFitNation.com for your gaming and health information. Peace.